Now, once we start to add multiple tables to our database, we need to be able to work with those multiple tables to make our life easier. At the moment, if we just look at them and say, let's open the sales table, let's add a new sales record, 9,500 on June 23rd, 2013, but we don't know the sales client. So I have to go open up the customers table and find the sales client that this is going to belong to. Let's say Chad Kumar, 96, come back around and go 96. So that's not ideal and not the best way of doing things. Now, one of the methods of being able to insert data and not have to worry about doing this kind of lookup is by using Access's table sub datasheet. Now, this works well. If we close the sales table, for example, and have the customers table open, you'll notice that there are some pluses next to each of our records. This plus is only there because we have multiple tables and have created a relationship. In any tables that do not have relationships to other tables, you'll not see that plus. This plus opens up the sub data sheet. So if I were to pick on one of my customers here, let's say, for example, Gilbert Raj, if I click the plus, that expands out and shows me the sales for that particular customer. In fact, that particular customer doesn't have any sales, but using the sub data sheet, I can just click in, add a sales value, 7,500, add a sales date, perhaps using the little pickup calendar. Let's go for the 31st, and that's it. I don't need to know the customer ID and enter that. It's the sub data sheet that's doing that work for me. So I just need to tab and come back round to the next record, perhaps to add in a new sales value. And that will be added in. If I close the little minus to go back and open up the sales table and look at the very last record, you'll see it's the 7,500 I just added, May the 31st, to sales client 56. And Gilbert is 56. So that's the sub data sheet. The sub data sheet will expand when you click the plus, allowing you to view any sub data, in this case the sales data, and also allowing you to add data. So if I look at the sales table and find someone who's actually got some data, record 135, let's go down to record 135, click the little plus, and I see current sales data for 135. So the sub sheet is actually filtering the sales table by the person that I'm clicking next to. And there's nothing to stop me adding in another record. Let's say he spent 22,000 this time in August 20th, 2013. Tab to finish the record, and that's entered into the database. So into the sales table assigned to the correct ID for Larry, which is 135. Now, if I look at any of the other tables, TBL sales, for example, that doesn't have a plus because that doesn't have a sub table to add to it. If I look at the countries, that does. And if I click the plus next to Australia, you can see that that shows me all the customers that belong to Australia, which is actually quite a few of them. It also has a plus, so I can actually plus again to see the sales. So I can go through the top level route here of the country, using the relationship one-to-many to then use the data sheet to see the customers, and then using the relationship one-to-many between the customers and the sales to then expand out and see their sales. So inside here, I can go and expand Gilbert and see the sale that I added earlier. So this is the sub data sheet. Exists in all your tables the minute you create a relationship in Access. Until you create a relationship, it doesn't exist because Access doesn't know that effectively there are some tables that are subtables to the table that you're in. So any table that has a one-to-many relationship with another table will load that other table as the sub data sheet. If you have a large database and there could be a lot of different tables that could act within that sub data sheet, you'll actually get a choice when you click the plus. So when you click the plus, you'd then be given a list of tables to choose from for which one you would like to see displayed in the sub data sheet.